February 25th. Ben Carson, American neurosurgeon and politician. Ben Carson is a successful neurosurgeon who became a well-known American politician. He grew up in Detroit, Michigan. At times, his family struggled financially. However, his mother, Sonia Carson, never gave up on her sons. She required both of her sons to read books and write weekly book reports in addition to their other schoolwork. During this process, Carson discovered his love of learning. Carson credits his mother with helping him succeed later in life. His mother's support gave him the dedication he needed to pursue his goals. He displayed his dedication in his career as a neuroscientist and politician. As a student, Carson was interested in how the brain worked. He earned a scholarship to Yale University and graduated with a degree in psychology. After graduating, he went to University of Michigan for medical school, where he decided to become a neurosurgeon. He then attended Johns Hopkins University to complete his residency in neurosurgery. Neurosurgery is a medical specialty that treats injuries and disease of the brain, spinal cord, and the nervous system. Carson had excellent hand-eye coordination, an important skill for surgeons. He quickly became a top surgeon at Johns Hopkins. At age 33, Carson became the director of pediatric neurosurgery, focusing on children in need of treatment. He was the youngest person at the time to become a division director at Johns Hopkins. Carson performed surgeries that led to important breakthroughs in his field. Many major surgeries in his career involved conjoined twins. Conjoined twins are identical twins who are born attached to each other in some way. Operating on conjoined twins takes a lot of skill and patience. Carson performed the first successful separation of conjoined twins in 1987. This surgery lasted more than 22 hours and involved 140 people. Both twins survived the surgery. He received worldwide attention for this medical success, according to the U.S. News and World Report. Carson performed 500 operations a year until his retirement, an impressive number for any neurosurgeon. He praises his efficient staff for these impressive numbers. Carson became a leader in the field of neurosurgery. He also became a motivational speaker and writer. In 2008, President George W. Bush presented Carson with the President, Presidential Medal of Freedom for his work with neurological disorders. The year after, Carson was the subject of the film Gifted Hands, the Ben Carson story. In 2013, Ben Carson decided to retire from surgery and turn his attention towards politics. He and his wife, Candy Carson, wrote a book about their political ideologies. He began to speak about his conservative political beliefs. In 2015, he decided to run for president. He entered the race to become the presidential nominee for the Republican Party. Many considered him to be a front runner at the start of the race. However, its low poll numbers caused him to drop out of the race in March of 2016. Once President Donald Trump was elected, he nominated Carson to serve as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. This role is the head of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD. This department manages policies and programs to ensure that everyone in America has access to quality housing and enforces fair housing laws. The department also fights housing discrimination to make sure that people of all backgrounds can buy or rent homes. One of Carson's goals was to create 3,000 invasion centers across the country. These centers were meant to help low-income Americans access education, mentorship, job training, and health services. Unfortunately, Carson's time as Secretary of HUD was impacted by budget cuts and the coronavirus pandemic. In late 2022, 2 years after his time as secretary, there were 100 invasion centers around the country. Since leaving the federal government, Carson has continued to speak at conferences and colleges around the country. He has written 12 books that explore his experiences in the medical profession and the political world. And in the spread of public service, he also created the Carson Scholar Fund, which awards 500 scholarships every year to students who serve their communities. Thank you for watching.